Black Dog After Dark is recorded in a video store by people who have been drinking. We swear a lot, and there's spoilers. It's not safe for work, unless you work in a video store and have also been drinking.
Yeah, I loud. Like, it was like yelling in my eyes. Like, stop like yelling in my eyes.
All right, you primitive screwheads, listen up.
Roger, Roger. What's our vector, Victor?
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass.
I know that, Mr. Man. They also call them cereals. I'm not stupid, you know.
The story is ludicrous. You can imagine where it goes from here.
Fixes the cable.
It's Christmas.
This holiday season, 20th Century Fox invites you to open your imagination.
I'm Leslie Zebo. We have a tradition of whimsy here at Zebo Toys.
I'm noodling with the idea of putting in some war toys.
You've never made war toys at Zebo.
Are we making fun of people with big ears?
We're making fun of people with small heads.
Either way, I think we're going to get letters from the royal family.
Robin Williams.
Sorry.
Michael Gambon.
You're as big a fool as your father ever was.
You really think so? Thank you.
Joan Cusack. Robin Wright. LL Cool J. Toys.
It is After Dark here in Black Dog Video on Commercial Drive in Christmassy, Vancouver, which means that this is our Christmas episode of the Black Dog Video After Dark podcast, aka Black Dog After Dark. I am Dylan Reimer, comedian and sometimes employee of Black Dog Video. And to my left is...
I'm Alex Chisholm. I work at Black Dog Video, and I also work at the Rio Theater just down the street, both here in East Van.
I'm Darren Gay. I own this Black Dog Video thing we're talking about. One of the last stores in the world.
Of its kind.
Yeah, on
Earth. That's it. It is the last store in the world.
On Earth that still rents movies out.
Oh, by the way.
Yes.
I see you scratching your head. And...
I do not have lice.
Well, no, you don't have lice, and you got a damn fine haircut.
Oh.
Because one of our sponsors, well, by that I mean our only sponsor,
so far,
is Jefferson's Barbershop here on Commercial Drive. If you're looking for a great haircut and a solid conversation about pop culture, punk rock, Star Wars, whatever.
Lots of skill,
both at the same time.
Yeah.
Great haircuts across the board. I have not yet managed to make an ad, so I have to squeeze this awkward reminder that they technically fund us, sort of.
Yeah.
So go to Jefferson's on Commercial Drive.
Yeah, they're great.
Yep.
Jeff's stand-up guy. Scott's a good dude. I don't know there are other people there, but they're all nice.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a good place.
A bunch of weirdos, but they're good at cutting hair.
A bunch of weirdos here.
Yeah.
We should start cutting hair.
We're terrible at cutting hair.
Well, yeah.
Or you could just let them rent a chair here in the shop. It might come to that, actually.
That'd be weird, eh?
Anyways, so we are discussing a movie
bag of hair
from
with every rental.
1992, a Robin Williams venture by the name of Toys, directed by Barry Levinson. Now, this was not my pick, nor was it Darren's pick. It was Alex's pick. So
yes, Alex, please
tell us about
yourself.
the first time that you saw this particular motion picture.
I saw this film for the first time in the past year. I remembered it being this infamous bomb from the early 90s that I basically ignored.
I'm not sure if it was actually a bomb.
It was a bomb.
It bombed, and every critic on the planet despised it, and it was completely trashed.
Somebody must have liked it. Because it comes in at 30% on Rotten Tomatoes. So 3 out of 10, every 10 critics liked it.
It got mostly negative reviews.
I thought it was high, too.
The critics I were aware of at that time trashed it. And I had never seen it. Just within the past year, a copy of it drifted into Black Dog Video. Toys was in there, and I was always curious about it because of its infamy. It was such an infamous
You like boxes, you like toys. But you were attracted to this.
Yeah, and bombs, too. So
yes.
Also boxes, toys, and bombs. But I just took it over to sheer curiosity, and dare I say I loved it. That was earlier this year, and I just figured it might be an interesting pick for our Christmas show because it begins in
because there's a 2-minute Christmas scene.
Okay,
in
wait, but a Christmas scene that does not take place at Christmas.
Yeah.
But the weird thing is, as a Christmas pick, this movie, in the States, I think it was released around Christmas, but in the UK and everywhere else, it was April and June.
Canada, I believe it was Christmas as well. North America was Christmas.
Was it April Fool's Day or Day of the Dead or something like that?
It was like a June release.
I think I watched it Probably on home video, 93, 94, maybe.
Okay, so more or less when it came out.
When it came out, but I don't remember anything about it. I probably smoked some weed, possibly. Probably had some drinks, and it went in one eye and went out the other. I do not remember anything about this, except for a couple things popped up that I said, "Oh yeah, that happened." When I was watching it, so yeah, it was. I don't remember it, but I think I've seen
very
it.
little to remember.
Yes, yeah. I think I've seen it.
And
I'm gonna stick with that.
I saw this in theaters actually when it came out, but again, I saw
you saw it in a theater.
Well, yeah, because I worked in a movie theater, and also I grew up, as I mentioned on every podcast, 3 or 4 blocks.
Dartmouth?
No, it's him.
Oh, right.
I grew up in Surrey, which is the Dartmouth of
BC,
of the Lower Mainland.
Yeah.
And again, I remembered very little, but what I did remember were the going to the movies. It had an interesting trailer campaign. Because it didn't really show you any scenes from the movie. It was just Robin Williams standing in a grass field doing his shtick.
Right.
And you knew nothing about it. And I didn't even think that those trailers were particularly culturally impactful. But then I remember The Simpsons actually did a piss take of them with Mr. Burns standing in a grass field. So this movie must have been bigger than I remember. What were you saying, Alex?
Well, just that I remember seeing those trailers. That's the first time I heard of this film. And I hated the trailers and had no desire to see the film.
Let's get to it. Toys. Directed by Barry Levinson. 1992. Yeah. I'm not sure what the budget is.
$50 million. The budget was $50 million. In 1992, that's a lot of money.
Actually, that is
for what we saw here. It's a lot of money. It only made about $22 million or something like that. So it was a huge bomb.
It starts out, you see the logo, I can't remember, is it Paramount or whatever? And you actually hear a toy being wound up.
Yeah, clever.
And I remember thinking oh, that's actually kind of cute.
But yeah, so, okay, off to a good start, right?
Yeah, off to a good start for the first 5 seconds.
Yeah.
And then the music begins.
The wretched
And it is the worst music I've ever heard in my entire life. And and I'm like, whatever, it's the opening credit sequence. They're setting a tone. And it's it's children dancing at Christmas time.
It's a Christmas pageant put on by the company.
Yeah.
And Christmas parties like that are often not thrown exactly during this season. But I don't think it's so much
you're already making insane defenses.
No, not at all. But
we're having Christmas in July this year.
The film's not, it's in California, so there's not going to be.
How do we know it's California?
Well, it's somewhere warm. It's more about the setting than.
Honestly, I thought it was another fucking planet. I did not think. I actually wrote down what planet.
Yeah,
does
it
this
may
take
as well
place
have been
on.
Dr. Seuss land.
But it was it looked like a company. A Christmas pageant.
Yeah, there's lots of creepy folks sitting in the audience looking at this boring Christmas pageant of kids shuffling around.
And it was a really fucking boring Christmas pageant.
It was terrible.
I thought it was really surreal.
And I don't know why we were subjected to it.
It's like they just okay, everyone just get on stage and shuffle around. We'll put some snow, and it doesn't matter what you do, just shuffle around and make it look like.
Although
that's how a lot of those shows are, though.
How do you know?
Office.
Okay, you've been to a lot of those, have you?
In Dartmouth?
No, good. You've been in them.
Well, whatever. The kids,
hires himself out at
the
Christmas
kids are
time
dressed
for
up as
pageants.
Christmas trees, and honestly, I didn't really mind. I'm like, whatever. This is the opening credit sequence, but I did really hate the music. Immediately, I was like, this is some of the worst music I've ever heard.
Yeah, but it's a hokey Christmas carol.
No. That was not deliberate.
Yeah, it was.
No, it wasn't. No. That was Barry Levinson's idea.
And then they started singing, and then it got worse.
Oh God!
Yeah.
And then Santa showed up in a single engine,
a plane or something.
Plane, and he starts dropping these fucking toys.
Crushing,
and I'm like, whatever.
Crushing the children.
It's still just the opening credits. Whatever.
And the lead singer was either Wendy or Lisa, who used to back up Prince. They were members of the Revolution. Because in the song was credited to Wendy and Lisa, and but I can't remember. They only see the one woman at the top of the Christmas tree, and I thought that was, I know that's either Wendy or Lisa from Prince's Revolution.
This is the first time watching the movie where I checked the time to see how much time was left. And there was still 2 hours to go. This movie is 2 hours long.
And no word of a lie, Darren. I did the same thing.
Yeah.
I was like, how long is this? It's 2 hours and 1 minute. Okay. But then I was like, it's just the credits.
Yeah. And then I think, hey, LL Cool J's in this.
Oh,
what?
Yeah.
that didn't bode well. I was like, because I've never seen LL Cool J give a good performance in anything.
Well, he's not an actor.
Even on stage.
No.
And like, I was like, although Tina's Got a Big Old Butt's a pretty cool song. But anyways.
Sure.
So it's like this weird Christmas pageant that goes on for fucking ever. It felt like 10 minutes. It was probably like 3 or 4 minutes.
And it's also not the first time in my notes. Actually, it is the first time in my notes, but not the last where I wrote, "What the fuck am I watching?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, it's not the first time that I wrote, "I'm annoyed." Movie just started, and I'm already annoyed. Anyway, so blah, 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 blah. It's a toy factory.
In the middle of nowhere.
So it's sort of a Willy Wonka
but
type.
It's run on elephant steam, as far as I can tell. There's like a giant elephant that blows steam across
It might be steam powered. I didn't notice that, but it could be a steam powered.
See, I don't mind. I didn't understand why. Well, I didn't understand any of this movie. I didn't understand why this existed. Like, why is? But what? It's on Pluto. Like, on what planet? Like, it's in the middle of like a field. And there's no other like tether to the real world anywhere in this.
Yeah, like I always wonder about the workers. Like, they
Do
drive
they live
through
there?
a giant field, or is it like communist China where they just like live?
No,
and
they go home at the end of the day.
And they're seemingly forced to listen to the same horrible Tori Amos song.
Yeah, that
over.
What's it called? Happy Workers.
Which
I still can't decide is actually being played in the factory if it's just on the soundtrack.
No, it was
because there's people singing along with it as they're working,
dancing to it.
They're dancing to it.
It's almost like someone's got a gun and is like forcing them to enjoy their jobs.
This is weird.
So is this what they listen to? Like this is what as soon as they get there and the shift starts, they have to listen to this. Or does this play all day long every day?
It seems to play all day long every day, trying to make it fun for kids, but it just looks horrifying with giant human heads opening and closing their weird eyes.
Yeah, that was creepy as fuck.
It was very Tim Burton, Dr. Seuss.
Coming up short.
But by the way, there's some weird fucking hippopotamus pit at one point in this movie.
That's way later.
But it doesn't matter. I'm saying that it is a factory full of hidden horrors.
Yeah, it is. Every room has its own horror show.
But that's after
much like Willy Wonka,
but only after it falls into the wrong hands.
Okay,
at first it's a very
we will for sure get to that.
It's just annoying and garish before the army.
Yeah,
takes
it's
over.
just like it's whatever, and they manufacture toys. But Robin Williams, like, he walks around the factory and he goes into one room and he goes back in the hallway. And every time he goes in the hallway, that fucking song is playing. So yes, it is being blasted through all the speakers.
Just torturing
and
the
poor
people.
And the song is like, there. I couldn't tell if it was. And this was the first time with this movie. And I was just griping to Nick about this. I was just saying, like, I don't know what this movie wants to be.
No.
Is it a dark satire? Is it a romantic comedy?
Yes.
Is it a holiday film?
Yes.
Is it a comedy?
Yes.
No, see, I'm saying no to all of these.
Yeah, it's all of the above.
None of the above.
You can't be all of the above.
You can totally be all of the above. This movie was none of those. Like it had none of that.
Pick one. You can't be Brazil and then have Robin Williams doing his Mike Tyson impression. You know, I'm sorry. It just doesn't work.
Consistently hilarious,
dude. Okay,
He didn't make me laugh once. I maybe snorted a small chuckle once in this movie, and it was I can't remember what it was.
You shouldn't snort chuckles because it's very hard on the nasal patch.
It is hard on the nasal patch. You're right. But that's as close to I got of even cracking a smile.
Robin Williams' character did not have enough agency in this movie for me to engage with him at all. So I didn't know what he was. Was he rebelling against the status quo? No, he was just some fucking weirdo. And then it made me think of his appearances on talk shows when this movie came out to promote it. And he was always wearing these stupid jackets that the movie is showing. His smoking jacket, where smoke comes out of it.
That's hilarious.
And then his
really,
and that stupid like rap jacket where he raises.
That was incredible.
Oh my god!
The slapstick sound effect jacket.
Dude, are you out of your fucking mind?
It'd be a good Halloween costume,
but
maybe.
I smiled in both scenes.
No, it was mind crushing.
No, I loved it.
What were you snorting before you watched this fucking movie?
Chuckles.
Anyways. So I'm definitely leaving that in. So anyway, so Robin Williams is he's not really the heir, but he's
the son of the owner of the factory, and his dad's dying or he's dead. I can't remember.
Oh yeah,
his dad's dying.
For some reason that's never explained, Zevo is his name, the owner,
right?
The guy who
Warren Zevo,
who built this nightmarish Freak Factory.
One of the films
from the ground up.
One of the film's many homages to Devo, may I add.
Yeah, okay.
Why are they homaging Devo?
No. Well, they sort of do a Thomas Dolby Talking Heads kind of thing.
Well, Thomas Dolby, I believe, is
he wrote the only good song in this movie.
That music video song?
Yeah.
I wouldn't call it good.
So the lawyer goes to the dying man who owns the factory, and the dying man, for some reason, is, I don't think Robin Williams, who is this like genius at making rubber barf and stuff, Leslie, he's not the guy to run my... I know my sinister, cynical, warmongering 3-star general who hates everything about me. Yeah. He's the guy I want my peaceful fucking... Yeah. And they never give you a reason why he made that goddamn decision.
Well, he does say that. He says why.
Oh,
what does he say?
He's supposed to...
It's a chance to change him. He's a...
Why would he think that would change him?
Altruistic man.
Well, then why
trying to help his brother.
Well, if that's
maybe
the case...
Maybe delirious from illness.
Yeah, he should have told fucking Robin Williams. So when Michael Gambon, who plays the military guy, when he winds up making fucking drones, which was
completely ahead of its time.
Strangely prescient.
No, completely ahead of its time. Another brilliant point.
But I never heard Robin Williams going, I sure hope he figures out his inner child while he's making
Well, Robin Williams didn't have to say that. The father hoped that for his brother.
Yeah, well, the father, okay, whatever.
He was wearing a beanie cap, and that's one of the...
Does that indicate that
hilarious.
He might be but that may indicate that, he's not
retarded?
all there, and he's naively trusting his brother. It made sense he passed control.
And
he also said...
why did the fucking military leader even want the goddamn factory?
I know.
He
hates children.
Nothing
he hates
about
toys,
this makes any fucking sense.
It makes sense.
Okay.
He's having his own doubts with his career. His military career hasn't panned out. He's never fought.
And his dad is like, I'm a 4-star and you're a 3-star.
Yeah, and that's a great scene too.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Jack Warden.
Jack Warden, Permio.
He's lying, decomposing in his bed. That's not a great scene.
It reminded me of the Mentor dying in Dark Crystal when he crumbles in the sand. But that's a great scene.
You're giving it way too much credit.
It's hilarious.
It's not hilarious at all.
Hilarious.
Also sad. It's also really sad.
I thought it was boring.
No, it's really sad.
Boring is being kind to it.
Every time the military was in this thing, I was bored out of my fucking mind. Except when Michael Gambon started playing that UN, he started blowing up the UN trucks deliberately.
Yeah, that was a great scene.
That was a good bit of satire, and I wish
a lot of inferiority revealed there.
Well, why? Okay, so then why do I have to watch fucking Joan Cusack eating mayonnaise sandwiches for 5 minutes?
Well, that scene is so charming and wonderful.
Oh my god!
That has to do.
Dude,
her vitamin sandwich.
How much did they fucking pay you for this podcast?
Her vitamin sandwich rant I just wanted to hug her.
Two things that I liked about this movie. For some of it, I liked Joan Cusack until she got so stupid. I actually said to myself, is she like a mental patient, or is she a fucking robot?
Well, you find out.
I know. Yeah. And then the other person I liked was Robin Penn.
She's
wonderful. I thought she was the only really good thing in this movie.
In my notes, I say
Robin Williams great in this movie.
No,
he wasn't. He
really wasn't.
Unfortunately, when he first came on, into the scene, I was like, it's nice to see Robin Williams, because everyone has a soft spot for Robin Williams. It's nice to see him, but then he kind of just sort of disappears in the movie. Every now and then they sort of take his little tether off so he can do his little shtick. None of it was funny.
The deviled egg scene, I laughed so hard.
God.
Dude, my lungs hurt.
Were you
really? Your actual lungs, both of them.
Both
your
lungs
hurt.
Assistant warning, and then put the two toothpicks.
Is there something in the drinking water?
It wasn't.
That was.
It was so.
Oh
funny.
my god!
You just wish you had material like that, right? It was fucking hilarious.
I wonder if
it was hilarious.
I guess you thought the whoopee cushion farting noises was hilarious too.
The egg bit.
Well, I don't remember that specifically, but I did love the sound effect jacket.
The egg bit where where the deviled egg moves around and it's obviously like a magnet.
Yeah.
That's what made you laugh.
That's the whole. Yeah, but did you listen to the monologue he gives about it being like possessed eggs?
Yeah. Get a couple of toothpicks and make a cross.
It's brilliant. He's doing like the voice of the guy, like, "Oh, morning, you getting out of here." I was laughing so hard. My lungs hurt.
You are
and I actually
us. There's no way this is your opinion.
It is.
You are so full of shit right now.
I rewatched that scene twice. I stopped it, I rewatched it again, and then I did it again.
I think we might have to have you committed.
Oh, and then there's that funeral scene, which is
Loved it.
God, this
so
movie.
touching.
I don't even remember the
Completely
funeral
touching.
scene. This is.
He's got a barrel of laughs in the coffin.
I thought it was really touching.
Oh no,
I thought that was touching.
It was touching.
It was like they bury him, and the priest is all like blah blah blah, priest. And then you hear laughter coming from the casket. And even the priest is like,
oh yeah, they're all trying not to laugh.
And then Robin Williams is like, here's the thing is, I adore Robin Williams, but he annoyed me in every single scene. At no point did I and his hair, the weird blonde, awful, just to make it even less Robin Williamsy. He has an awful dye job.
Well, you know why? Because he wasn't consistent throughout the movie. His character was just really nothing. And then
Mike Tyson
and then he starts doing his little bits because I guess they just it's obviously it's probably improv on the set. Let's keep this. It's better than what they had. Not very good. And so, but it comes and goes, and the character that they actually wrote for him for the movie is just so bland, and there's nothing there. You're not rooting for him.
What I was enjoying way more than I'm rooting for them was like what the idiot uncle who's the military guy, what he's getting himself into because he's so horrified.
Okay, now
to meet them, I love as much as I love the devil egg routine. I love the guy's straight-laced stare back in horror, like about what an idiot his nephew is, and then he finds out about like the niece Joan Cusack only wearing clip-on clothes and stuff, and he's totally horrified. She has that amazing bedroom set too.
Actually, I wrote down when she sleeps in the anus of a duck.
Yeah, that's so cool.
It looks like it's digesting her.
Oh, and by the way, talk about wasted space in this factory. Every room is meant to look like a surrealist painting.
That's right.
You can't have a practical factory space. No, it's a single table where the walls come in,
right?
And that's like
occasionally some of that was interesting, but it was just I found it like so much was so garish and loud, like eye loud. Like it was like yelling in my eyes. Like stop yelling in my eyes.
Toy. I don't know, man. The only thing that I have anything good to say about this movie, I thought the art direction was good, and
it was up for an Oscar,
and the cinematography. But
you also found
that
the
whole
drone thing prescient.
Okay, well, yes, I did.
Prescient.
So
Fair prescient.
No. I said there are 3 things in this movie. Okay, I guess 4 things with the art direction.
I'll be honest with you.
To cut to the chase, I like Joan Cusack. I like the Thomas Dolby song. I like the art direction. And the one scene where Michael Gambon is gleefully blowing up UN trucks, and you know what? I was like, if they,
testing the
when Michael Gambon, so he takes over the factory and he's a military asshole and whatever. For whatever reason, he decides they don't really clarify it, but whatever, I'll go with it. And then I kind of liked it when he showed up wearing this weird toy uniform. It's all like pink and weird.
It was like a camouflage, but with the colors of toys.
Yes, and
stuff.
He's running over like robot penguins. Like I wish the movie had been about Michael Gambon just gleefully destroying this fucking factory.
Yeah, that would have been way more interesting.
But and then you have to sit through a scene where it's like Joan Cusack is doing the fucking virtual reality, and she's like I feel woozy.
How about that scene when they're all on the couch doing the virtual reality?
Loved it.
And they're all you can tell they're like someone's outside. Okay, everyone move right.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
it was like Star Trek.
Yeah,
Starboard.
So lovable.
No, it looked terrible. It wasn't lovable at all.
And she's like,
there's nothing lovable about
I
this
feel
movie.
woozy, and he's like, that's a good name. We'll call it the Woozy Helmet. No, the Woozy Helmet's a terrible name. In fact, every idea Robin Williams' character has is fucking terrible.
That's why they didn't put him in charge.
How is this factory in business?
Because the father ran it until he died.
But if you look at all the
toys, he's supposed to be some kind of fucking genius, but the only toys he has are fucking wind-up alligators from 1920s.
They're toys from 1939. That's all they make.
And by the way, was I supposed to be sad when the way more awesome military toys came in and started fucking murdering them genocide style?
No, because you were too bored to be sad.
Oh, and by the way, that stupid little wind-up toy where it's the kid with the dog
pushing it.
No, the dog's biting the butt, and
they showed
that's
it.
the one that escaped.
Barry Levinson must have fucking had a boner for that toy when he was a kid or something, because that got more fucking screen time than LL Cool J. It was just, oh, there it is again.
And that brings us to why is LL Cool J's Michael Gambon's son? It's never explained.
It didn't necessarily have to be explained. Everyone just accepted it for whatever reason. He's a white man with a black son.
It wasn't even that.
But this is olden times.
No, but it wasn't even that. When
this is like
a bit of stalking was
in the
looked like
90s,
something
yeah,
shocking.
and that's why I thought it was pretty cool to do it.
You drank 3
You're
beers
already through 3 of these fucking things?
Wow, you gotta slow down.
Okay, with LL Cool J being Michael Gambon's son.
Yes.
Race-wise, irrelevant. But acting level, I'm like, doing it well. Fucking LL Cool J is, I don't know.
Actually,
and he wasn't interesting or.
Yes, he was.
I beg
he
to
was.
differ.
He was marginally. He's marginally interesting. He's more interesting. He was interesting because his character arc actually had him change from when he started to the end.
Wow, what a whopper! By the way,
but
he's the only character who has any development at all.
That's what I'm saying. That's why he was only marginally interesting.
Even Robin Wright's character doesn't fucking change. Nobody and Michael Gambon's character,
who's the one that
Scrooge of the movie, you would think would have some sort of
epiphany
reckoning,
or something,
and he doesn't.
Nope.
He just winds up catatonic in a bed, drooling and staring at a bunch of fucking.
That's how I felt watching this thing. Actually, the only thing that I did laugh at, I don't know. I've written a poop in tub. There was a joke about someone pooping in a tub.
Oh, that was funny.
And then someone would go, "We've all done it."
Yeah.
And I thought that was my chuckle.
It was a focus group, and
that was my snort chuckle.
I can't remember what they were talking about.
It wasn't a focus group. It was just developers watching tested results.
Oh yeah.
Right. And I really like the rubber turd scene.
Talk about and this is still in the first
the rubber puke scene.
10 minutes of the fucking movie.
Yeah, when they're all describing the different pukes.
I heard you laugh across town over the Wyatt Earp.
You did, yeah. Was that? No, that was me. That was my soul leaving my body. Actually, this is when I wrote down here. I'm not too sure if I can survive this movie.
Yeah. Okay, so after the funeral, Michael Gambon is marching around like a douche. Goes in, and Robin Williams and company are watching commercials, and it's the lamest thing I've ever seen. It's Robin Williams with a big pair of rubber ears in some Toys R Us.
It's not an ad. They're watching. They tested the toy.
But whatever. It's supposed to be Robin Williams doing shtick, so they could sell the movie as Robin Williams doing shtick, and it was fucking painful. And it reminded me of the Simpsons sketch where they made fun of Saturday Night Live for not being funny with Krusty the Clown with the giant ears.
Right.
And I'm thinking that might have been it.
The big ear
that might
family?
have been where they got the inspiration.
Yeah,
because it's Robin Williams with giant ears in a toy store. Why was that not on the cutting room floor of this 2-hour and 1 minute movie? Fucking, it wasn't funny. It didn't contribute anything to the story or even the atmosphere. There was no point in that. And Michael Gambon came in and looked at them and said, "They get paid to do this?" And that's what I thought about the entire fucking cast.
Yeah.
And then he's walking around, and I have to hear that fucking song every time someone leaves an office. It's like happy workers.
It's like the third level of Dante's hell.
And the thing is, I really like Tori Amos.
And it actually is.
I like how we just got silent after you said that. I've written down here. There's a sexy nurse at some point in this movie. Somebody's in bed. They're sick or something. There's a sexy nurse walking around.
Yeah, I think it might have been Michael Gambon's dad.
Well, she's with Jack Warden.
Right.
She's his nurse, and Michael.
And
Gambon,
she's a sexy nurse.
Michael Gambon says, "Are you free tonight?" So it implies they're together.
Yeah.
She's engaged to LL Cool J.
Too. There's a lot of inappropriate shit in this movie too for a children's.
But it's not a children's movie.
Well, who is this aimed at then?
It's a children's movie. It's called Toys. I wonder who's going to go see it. But there's a bit when Robin Wright. So Robin Williams starts to, for whatever reason, he meets Robin Wright. I can't remember how.
Because he saves her from an investigation by LL Cool J.
Is this before she was Penn or after or before or after Penn?
Oh yeah.
Why did she Robin Wright Penn in the movie then? Why not?
I didn't know this.
And every time LL Cool J's got this like fucking military operation, and he's marching around, and the music in this movie is so fucking obvious and annoying. Every time you see anything military, you hear this. Who? Ha!
Oh, I know.
Yeah, it's Frankie Goes to Hollywood.
It's fucking
it's the song "Welcome to the Pleasure Dome" remix. The music was some of the score was done by Trevor Horn.
Who? Ha! And I'm like, the first 15 times, I'm like, okay,
no.
But then like
brutal.
90 minutes, I'm like, again. And is anyone taking LL Cool J seriously? Like, she's doing her job, whatever the fuck she does.
But he's a softie.
and they think that joke about replication is so funny. She's like, I'm in charge of replication.
Duplication.
Well,
Duplication. And he's all, you dupe, and he starts fucking rapping and stuff.
Oh.
And
How about the dribble glass? Nothing funny on a dribble glass.
How is that? By the way, how is this the late great Robin Williams being there? You know, how is this the hill he wanted to die on?
Yeah.
This movie was. He's in the car stalking Robin Wright, but
right. When she's trying to ride her bike, for some reason has training wheels.
So
she has training wheels on her bike.
She's riding her bicycle.
I found it charming.
And he's like,
he's a late learner.
With training wheels
on a gravel road in the middle of a fucking cornfield with the owner of her fucking company
slowly driving
and refusing to just fuck off. So fucking like she's like on the bike and he's like, oh hey, come over to my place, I'll show you how to ride the bike. And she's like,
that wasn't a bad Robin Williams.
Thank you. They come and go.
I thought he was actually here. The other one was better.
And she goes, like, why do you want to help me ride the bike? And then he has a hand puppet shaped like the devil. He goes, I want to get laid.
I know. I just want to get laid. I was like, who would say that?
I'm like, what? Okay, Robin, you're not on stage at the fucking Hollywood Improv right now. Wow. You're playing a character who I'm supposed to relate to.
And then all of a sudden,
as this childish fuck. No, he's supposed to be like a Wonka-ish kind of.
Well, and then they have this sort of like burgeoning possible romance. Yeah. You know, they've had some nice conversations. She made a dolphin sound in line getting food, which is cute.
And then he
but then he says
in
that.
A cornfield.
I just want to get laid.
I just want to get laid.
What the fuck, dude?
He's like, oh no, I'm just kidding. Get in the car. And she's like, I don't know, whatever. So for whatever reason,
it doesn't matter if she calls him on it. She laughs it off like, oh, he's just being, you know.
But again, it was 92. Like I'll actually let that go.
Olden days.
When a bit of stalking was done, something shocking. So all I have is.
I have written down here. There's a pretty good Michael Jackson joke. I don't remember what it was.
Very funny.
There's a before and after.
LL Cool J and Robin Wright.
They're photocopying their faces, which is a bad idea. You get like face cancer or something, right?
Really?
Yeah. Well, you shouldn't do that. No, especially when you're doing like 30 or 40 of them.
It's just light. It's not radiation.
No, but it's taking your image and throwing it onto like a piece of paper. So it's like
you sound like one of those tribes that doesn't want their photo taken.
Yeah, no, it's not good. It
doesn't steal your soul.
It totally does. It totally does, and it puts on paper and then gives you face cancer. So don't ever photocopy your face, especially when you do 30 or 40 times.
I did not think that joke was funny at all before and after.
I thought it was mildly funny.
And here's the other thing with this movie, where it's tonally wrong, is if you give me a movie that is set in a no particular time or place, that's in this weird toy factory, I'll allow it, like Brazil, right?
Sure.
The second you mention Michael Jackson, I'm like,
yep.
Oh, well, this must have been filmed when Michael Jackson was alive. You know what I mean? Like, he completely...
Why
are you making pop culture references in a movie like Toys?
You're referencing the outside world, which doesn't really exist in this movie.
They go through great pains.
Where did the military come from? Where's the video arcade that they visit?
The movie goes out of its way to set this sort of surrealist... childlike, dreamlike quality where you could be watching a dream or experiencing a dream. That seems to be what it was going for with the cinematography and the art direction. And then he's making fucking Michael Jackson references.
I have plenty of dreams that reference the outside world.
No.
You do?
Yeah.
You dream about the outside world?
Yeah, the before and after effects of a Michael Jackson photocopy. You know?
Obviously, they hate the UN in this movie, and why is that?
No. They don't hate the UN.
There's a few.
There's
a few. There's
a bad guy.
There's a UN joke before they start blowing shit up. So
no. I think you're a little off base.
Am I? The video games.
So Michael Gambon, he's like. He wants to make war toys, even though this factory has never made war toys.
Right.
He goes, for whatever reason, Michael Gambon goes to, and I think LL Cool J's there. They go to a video arcade, and Michael Gambon starts playing this video game where you're supposed to protect the UN, but because he's a fucking hawkish piece of shit Republican, he starts blowing up the UN.
Right.
And he's practically drooling, and like,
yes.
I wish that this was the movie. I wish the movie was trying to make any kind of point.
Mm-hmm. It does, though.
It doesn't.
How doesn't it? Is that scene you're talking about in it or not?
What? It is, but
there's a point.
But what?
Being made
Oh,
there.
please. Okay, it's a micro point then. Because it doesn't know what it wants to be.
The rest of the plot focuses on the building of military.
Yes,
toys.
yeah.
So it is the plot point. I don't see.
All right, fine.
It's not a thrown away thing that's never referred to again. It becomes the rest.
Okay,
of the movie.
okay, I'll give you that. But the movie doesn't do anything with the idea. It's so fucking obvious.
It doesn't do anything with any of the ideas in this movie. It puts them out there, and then they just sort of they don't go anywhere.
Well, there's a huge climax in this film.
Oh, okay. Well, you want
I'll give you a huge climax.
You want to just cut to that?
I want to talk about the architecture and structure of the building. Like, there's no way it's not going to collapse in upon itself with all these walls that move around. Like, it's not a sound.
It's only that one
structure
room that you see that happen.
No, there's a couple times that it does that.
No, with the Rubik's Cube kind of weird crossword.
Which, by the way, what was that?
What was that even for? What was that?
It looked cool. I thought.
No, because the idea is they're making the working areas smaller so they can expand the military part.
Which
actually it's architecturally impossible to do by just pushing some bricks.
Okay, but you know what? I'll let this.
Just saying.
I will let one of
the. Say that's the only time you see it happen, though.
One of the things.
There's other.
Well, it builds up
many
to
other
that.
times.
Oh, really?
Well, that was one of the rare instances where I was getting excited because I thought the movie was building to some kind of point. Because it was like, oh, this is like a microcosm society where arts and expression and sensitivity is put aside because hawkish military pricks come in.
Exactly.
Yes,
what it was
but
saying.
you could have made a 10-minute film. You could have made a 10-minute film.
They didn't though. They made
a fucking
film,
2
and
fucking hours.
Yeah,
movie.
another really good point made in this film.
And after
you
that,
thought about it because you just stated it yourself.
And you know where we are in this movie, we still have a fucking hour to go. Then their plan is they're going to disguise the camera by pushing a wall, and then for some reason doing a music video, and then promoting. There's a lot of MTV stuff. Was it dying or was it huge back in 1992?
Oh, it was huge
because there's a lot of references to MTV.
Well, that's the only reference I remember to it, but
no, it kept coming up.
I did find though. I agree. This could have been trimmed out. I thought it was cooler the effect of them just pushing up a fake hallway. But I did like the song that's performed. But it was gratuitous.
The song was terrible, but I like watching Joan Cusack try to play the guitar. Rock. I like that.
Robin Williams is doing a David Byrne impression here. This is pretty. For some reason, I remembered it from when I saw it before.
It was probably the only creative part in the whole.
Once in a lifetime.
The only creative part in the whole movie, I thought.
So there's a closed circuit camera on this hallway that they want to get into without the security seeing it, even though Robin Williams is a high-ranking.
Who can go wherever he wants, really.
He's an executive.
Yeah.
At this fucking place.
He wants to do it sneakily. That's all.
Yeah, whatever. So
they should have just left the image of the doorway, though.
And and so they this huge. I mean, it was just painful. And then Robin Williams sees the kids, and they're playing and the drones. And again, prescient.
The drone, great. Yeah.
Have you ever read or seen a movie or book called Ender's Game?
Yes, I did.
Yeah. Well, that's this. I have this. Orson Scott Card.
Something like that.
Yeah.
I think it's a great book.
Yeah, it's a really good book. The movie's not so good.
I mean, and the human being is fucking the worst.
Is that him?
Oh, he's a rampant,
he's a piece
rampant
of shit.
Homophobe. Fucking,
but anyways, but the idea that these kids are playing video games. But they're actually doing stuff in real life. They're actually blowing stuff up. That's all what Ender's Game is about. Spoiler alert. But
that's not even a spoiler, though.
But
because
did Ender's Game come out before this? I mean,
I think he stole the idea from this movie.
From the book. Oh, I see.
No, I think he stole the idea from that.
It's not that. Movie. I mean, it's not that original an idea.
It is, but it is a pretty interesting idea.
That
though.
era too, 92.
Well,
because it's all the video games are more sophisticated then, compared to stuff in the 80s. You wouldn't be able to do that in the 80s.
Yeah. And you wouldn't have been able to do it then, but virtual reality, which is referenced a few times, very charmingly so in this film, contrary to how you guys described it.
Oh,
shows that could totally be hooked.
Charming.
In.
And then for some reason he falls in a pit, in a big water pit with a monster.
That was kind of.
Why was that even there?
Look, I'm not saying there weren't a few problems.
But
with the movie,
where did it come from?
That was like the music video. Well, it was another toy, so-called, that they were working on, but that could have been.
But wasn't it like a living monster?
It was like a toy sea monster.
But it wasn't a toy; it was actually alive.
It was supposed to be a toy because it fired like weapons and stuff.
It did.
At one point later, yeah.
Because they said don't thrash around because it consents to thrashing around,
exactly.
and so Robin Williams starts thrashing around.
Toys, yeah, but he's panicking.
Yeah, but
Wouldn't you if you saw that thing swimming next to you?
well, if they said don't move, don't thrash it
Yeah,
out.
but don't move.
It's like a shark.
No, but that's just like, yeah, I know, but you wouldn't think that way. And that's saying don't move in a situation like that is like if someone's blowing their top and you're like, calm down. Of course they're not going to calm down.
But either that or be eaten by whatever the slime. So was it like the slime slug or something?
But it was like a big, that could have been cut out
the
too.
slug, you know.
No, this is when I wrote. Hey, Jamie Foxx is in this. Okay, that's his first movie. That's then I started wondering, is that Jamie Foxx's real name with 2 X's?
Wait, Jamie Foxx is in it?
Yeah, he was one of the guys in the truck that was like doing stuff. I don't know.
He was spying.
He had a smallish, bigger role than most extras would.
It might have been his first movie.
And then,
he was on In Living Color around this.
And then this is okay. The two lines I wrote here now is. This is one of the worst films I've ever seen. This is fucking cocaine-fueled eye torture. Because I just picture them all coking up and doing this fucking stupid movie.
And seriously, if I ever saw...
No, I wasn't on cocaine. The filmmakers, probably Robin Williams, he was big into that.
In 92, I don't think he was, though.
Say that quote one more time, though.
Cocaine-fueled eye torture?
Yeah, if I ever saw that on a movie box, I'd rent it instantly.
Me too, actually.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Actually, maybe I'll write that on cocaine-fueled eye torture, raves, Darren Gay.
Yeah.
Right on the cover of Toys.
I've been thinking we should start taking quotes from the podcast and putting them on the boxes.
Maybe.
But, so anyways.
I also write, there's not enough beer in my fridge to continue watching this.
I'm just wondering if they go to the cafeteria and Joan Cusack eats fucking Wonder Bread.
She eats a vitamin sandwich, and I love her exchange with the uncle.
Yeah, I guess
she was just a. Anyways,
one of the things I remembered about this movie is that she was a robot. So like when I saw it in '92. And so, like, I was like...
See, I forgot she was, but then it kind of dawned on me, because she's either, like, just like an insane, like, mental patient, or she's a fucking robot. And turns out she's a fucking robot.
I can't... Like, the thing is, my love for Joan Cusack runs so deep...
I love Joan Cusack,
that,
too.
Like,
she's amazing.
Like, I adore Joan Cusack. So I don't know if that's the reason I found her to be, like, one of the few saving graces of this film.
Yeah.
Or whether she was actually that good. I found her character tremendously annoying.
Totally. But she's just pleasant to watch, because her voice, her cadence is really it's I like it.
If this movie had been about Joan Cusack, her character,
and Michael Gambon,
and it was like a fairly innocent, it's just like her fluffy life and eating fucking white bread sandwiches
with vitamins in them.
I would have been okay with it.
No,
but Robin Williams' character does not develop in any way. He's throwing his club shtick into this thing. Michael Gambon.
What you didn't like that? You didn't find
frankly, is too good for this movie.
You didn't find the Mother Teresa joke funny?
Oh, that was wonderful.
I don't even remember
that. That was so funny.
That wasn't funny at all.
Yeah, it was.
No,
give me some soup. Yeah, that was great.
At this point, I'm fighting my hand with a fork to stab myself in the eye.
What was the joke? I can't remember.
He's making a hand puppet out of his sleeve. Like another.
He's having dinner with her. Like it's like, oh my
he's
God.
so funny and charming. Man.
Okay, so we're getting to the climax of the movie where they're gonna try to
brilliant toy battle.
Oh my
dude,
God!
Are you fucking?
It was so incompetent. At this point in the movie,
You're right. It's something. It could have been edited better, but it was a great.
It was
very surreal.
It could have been a 90-second sequence.
His speech was wonderful.
His speech was
please.
I had a dream.
God, 4 stores and
yeah.
It
was
no.
wonderful.
What was it? It was
The Last Temptation of Barbie or something.
It was like 4 stores.
Calling out Alien Al, how they stood by him.
It was so fucking lame.
It was terrible.
So fucking lame.
And then to me, this is when
powerful metaphors there, gentlemen.
What? Oh,
I figured.
all just toys.
I figured that all the filmmakers just sort of left the building, but the cameras kept rolling, and it just filmed itself as like this out of time and space, and then like there were these blurry shots when people are sort of running by.
But we haven't even mentioned the outstanding CGI ball that chases LL Cool J down a hallway.
That's pretty cool.
That was some of the worst. I guess CGI
that was really
new.
cool. The two
that
babies.
Was terrible.
I loved Joan Cusack saying that's a bad baby.
Oh, dude! Oh, no.
Also,
by the way, as a comedian, that was the worst timing. Robin Williams should have been in the fucking cutting room because her punchline was like 40 seconds after the initial incident. Then
It totally was. It was like there was a break.
Yeah.
It lingered on her for like 4 or 5, 10 seconds. And then she goes, "Oh, it's a bad." It was
That's
terrible,
bad danger.
terrible.
I was hoping.
Charming.
Also, the only thing I can think of is where's the fucking sphere from Phantasm, just flying down there and cutting people open. That's what I wanted in this
That would
scene.
have been cool too.
Yes, would have been way cooler.
And also, it's just like, how stupid is this fucking human being? Whatever, Joan Cusack's character.
Robot.
They've
Joan.
just been attacked by a bunch of toys, and then out of nowhere, this baby comes along, and she's all like, "Oh, hey," but like, aren't you suspecting? And
it's a toy.
So what was Michael Gambon's end game with this? He was gonna.
He made a whole bunch of small toys.
He was gonna drop that toy into the Middle East and kill Middle Eastern babies or something. Like, why did that toy even exist in Michael Gambon's brain?
None of these toys. Like, the thing is, all these toys are tiny little toys that shoot tiny little missiles to blow up other tiny little toys.
And I'm supposed to give a shit.
Yeah, and it's
they're prototypes.
And then on top of that, the toys that I'm supposed to hate are the way cooler, more fun toys because they have that little screen that comes up.
Yeah, they zero in. It's like, yeah.
You want me to play with a wind-up alligator after seeing that? Good, I'm glad. Fucking wipe them out.
But what was their idea of like winding all these shitty toys up to slowly march to their doom against the military toys?
Oh, dude.
What was that supposed to
accomplish?
accomplish?
The military toys would have killed them otherwise.
But
they reacted to movement.
So it only
fuck them up and make them shoot each other.
For what? So it only delayed it for what, 10 minutes while they destroyed all the other toys and then they killed them. Was that the idea?
There was even a moment where you're supposed to think that like one of these good guy toys took one for the team. That alligator, he fucking swallows a grenade and then explodes. And I'm just like, what is that?
It's tradition.
It was so fucking lame. Shitty old.
And how about that poor old guy who had to wind all those toys up, hundreds of toys. He got a carpal tunnel in his wrist.
And by the way,
all that
battle went on way longer than the average wind. Like you got
they kept
at best
going
20
and going.
seconds.
Well, especially the one with the one we talked about with
that dumb dog thing.
What's powering that? It left the building. It's wandering, and how could it wander down the road?
You're supposed to laugh.
It walks straight into
the corner.
You're
supposed to go
like,
oh, that fucking dog is still chasing that stupid.
Well, I don't know if you're supposed to laugh as much as just be like, kind of like, wow. It's kind of a trippy image.
Whatever, man. There aren't enough Quaaludes on the planet.
You know, I'm watching this and I don't know who this movie's for. Is this like is this a joke? They got all this money to make this movie and they just said, "Fuck you guys, fuck you Hollywood. We're gonna make this stupid ass shit."
For anyone who wants to watch it, it's this.
So LL Cool J has become a good guy and
now he's dating the robot at the end.
He's not dating the robot.
Well, there
is kind of a reference where she's expressing attraction.
So is LL Cool J and the robot dating?
But they have it as established in the first scene.
So is she like a fully anatomically correct robot?
Well, she can probably give head.
Yeah, but is she programmed to do that? What if she like just clamps down really hard and rips your dick off?
Well, she loves mayonnaise. She's established that.
And vitamins.
Pills. She loves pills and mayonnaise.
Pills and mayonnaise.
Anyway, so there's this, for whatever reason, in the staff room or whatever, they have or the auditorium, they have like New York City, like they have a
yeah.
And for some reason, LL Cool J is just lying there
in Bloomingdale's.
Yeah, but why? Robin Williams goes running in there, and it's
side note from weaponry that's trying to kill him.
But he's a military guy. Why is he hiding?
Why is he such a fucking pussy? Yeah, I thought he was a master of disguise.
Yeah,
and a bunch of wind-up robots. So anyway, they're like, you have to get up to that control room. And Robin Williams is like, how am I supposed to do that, boss? Oh, and then
sees the airport.
Then they have this painfully slow 9/11 moment where he's like flying the plane towards the.
That's right.
But
pre-9/11.
Oh, and there's
by like
haven't
9
even
years.
mentioned the sentient helicopter that can just fly around.
Detects. Well, it detects.
It has a finger that comes out the front so it can push elevator buttons.
Yeah, well,
And
we're
anyways,
at that now.
which is actually
we're at that with drones, basically.
Yeah, you're right.
Drones are delivering shit to people's doorsteps.
But do they?
They're not.
But do they have like a thing that comes out with an actual finger on the end to
they
push them?
will soon. They probably do. They just haven't passed the safety
Is Wile E. Coyote?
They also have little machine guns. Big report on CBC the other day.
You just say they have now, but they haven't passed the safety test.
Probably,
they keep.
I'm sure they have.
Listen, we're not ganging up on you. Like I know it probably feels like it is because you liked it and we did not like it. I don't want that.
No, I don't
that
feel
dynamic. Okay.
No.
Because I'm thinking of revoking your Black Dog After Dark membership because you like this movie so much.
No, but hey, hold on.
I'm kidding.
Look, it could be a bit shorter. I just
maybe by like 2 hours.
Flawed production but I still think there's enough brilliance in this film.
There's nothing brilliant in the film at all.
Robin Williams has some great monologues. The sets and stuff are awesome.
What are you talking about?
It could be tightened up.
What monologue did he have?
Well, also, what's his name? What's his name?
Script ideas.
Michael? No, but what's his name again? Sorry, who plays
Michael Gambon.
Yeah,
Dumbledore.
Michael Gambon has a brilliant monologue about militarizing toys. And that's totally happening now. In the sense that not so much that they're militarizing toys.
So they're not doing that then.
But there basically is. Google it right now. It's like should drones like drones? Should each country send drones? To
I would watch that.
I know, Alex. I know what you're talking about.
I'd watch that.
I made a note of this.
It was on even CBC.
There's a scene where Michael Gambon and LL Cool J they go down to this dock. Right. And I actually pointed that out as being one of the worst scenes in the movie.
No.
Because he has
in a movie full of worst scenes. Because he has
this... why are they on a dock on a lake?
It's not a worst scene. No.
It's so badly...
Drones. He basically predicts drones.
It is one of the worst edited scenes.
This film lacked something in the editing. It was like a panic set in, and they had a deadline. But something got, its true greatness got lost in the editing.
I think it was lost in the... Conception.
No.
It definitely could have been tightened up, but there's some great ideas. And that monologue on that dock talks about the state of the military right now. It's a debate going on right now.
It was a very choppily and poorly edited scene.
But what's said, though, I'm not denying the technique's a bit off, but what was said there and the ideas are really solid. The CBC radio, I forget exactly which show it was, recently did a report interviewing experts. I knew about this topic anyways, but it was crystallized really in a recent episode of this show. And they're talking about now how scientists, this is the big ethical debate right now by all militaries. Like, we could just send, one country could just send an army of drones. This is totally plausible with little machine guns over it, whether or not kids are controlling it or not.
They've been doing it for years.
Yeah, but they can really do it now more effectively than ever in the drone.
More effectively than smart bombs?
And
looking forward to that.
But yeah, in a way, they're going to even make it smaller. And
so I think they're going to go fight other drones.
Well, there's that possibility, or just take out a village. Like if they want, you could do that. Like in the whole episode of the CBC show, I forget which one it was. I'm sorry, but they even debated. It may have been ideas in the afternoon or something. But they all debated. They had ethicists debating, like sending in like robots, because even like there was a recent like mass shooter in the States. And they trapped him in an underground parking lot, and they sent in a toy-sized like killer to get him, like
from this movie, like a little
not
thing
quite
with, like,
that
missiles.
small.
They shoot him with missiles.
They took him
Buzz
out.
Lightyear way.
They took him out without a conventional sniper.
The only robots I want to see fighting each other, like the Terminator robots.
Transformers.
No,
giant
robots.
Sure, very legitimate
in disguise
and stuff like that. Something got lost in the editing.
I don't know.
I'm not defending it as some perfect masterpiece, but I smiled so much throughout this movie. But but no, I agree. It could have been.
You were smiling because you knew you were forcing the two of us to have to sit through this.
No.
Yeah, actually, I'm gonna hold this. The fact that you made me watch this movie against you until I'm in the grave.
Oh, so
I'm gonna bring this.
Am I off the hook for Dick Tracy now?
Dick Tracy's fucking Citizen Kane compared to this, and I didn't like Dick Tracy whatsoever. No, this is like a drug-fueled nightmare. This is like an orgy of incompetence and unimagination and sadness. I fucking hated it. I'd rather gouge my eyes out with a warm spoon and watch this again.
Wonderful visuals.
I won't
great
go that
ideas.
far, but
it is a little long.
It was one of the. It's up there with one of the worst films I've ever seen. Sorry, I hate it.
Fair enough.
There were just too many fucking.
It's not my first
one.
I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to risk my life to defend it.
You're not going to send it down the river.
Okay, but did either of you notice Yeardley Smith was in this?
Nope.
AKA Lisa Simpson.
Nope.
And the guy from the Domino's Pizza ads from the 90s.
What the fuck? How would you even know who that is?
Because I was so bored watching this movie, I went, hey, it's the guy from the Domino's Pizza ad.
But how would you remember that?
Because I remember he used to do this thing where they were like, we don't waste blah, blah, blah at Domino's Pizza. And then it was like he was like a bad pizza delivery guy. And they're like, well, what do you want us to do with this cardboard box? And he's like, origami. And then he makes like a pterodactyl. And I was like, it's the guy who made it.
So it's a pterodactyl origami with like pizza sauce all over.
Well, whatever the case, it was the guy from. I don't remember the semantics or the plot of that Domino's. It was probably more of a plot than this film had.
A little more interesting.
But he had actually he had like 5 or 6 lines. I can't remember. You know what? I might have actually been able to appreciate this movie if it hadn't shoved that fucking Tori Amos song down my throat, and then every time you saw a military thing, it was going.
Yeah, it was just.
I was like, I get it. It's the fucking military.
There was a lot of bad decisions along the way, and it was too. It was too long.
We're not at the end just yet. So Robin Williams is in the biplane.
Oh my god!
And then the helicopter comes over and starts snipping the wires.
Yeah.
Right. And then I think he smashes through the glass of the office. And then Michael Gambon grabs them, and then they wind up hanging. And then Michael Gambon falls, and then they fall. And then LL Cool J is there for some reason, and who knows where Robin Wright is, and who knows where Joan Cusack's there too. And then that stupid fucking slug comes out and sort of attacks Michael Gambon.
What again? Why does this thing exist?
I have no idea. Yeah. But then he pulls out a rocket launcher or something. Oh no, it shoots Joan Cusack and her head comes off.
Right.
I kind of liked the CGI on her head because on the side of her head you saw the gizmos and gadgets whirring. That was better than the fucking ball that was chasing LL Cool J. And then turns out that she was a robot because Robin Williams' weird dad was a terrible father.
And he didn't want him to grow up like a lonely guy because his mom died or something like that. Or built her
a mayonnaise guzzling robot. And then I don't know.
Well, when you build a robot, that's the first thing you think of. How much mayonnaise can this robot get in its guzzle? How much can it get in itself?
The T-1000 can do like an entire oil tanker full of mayonnaise. It loves eggs.
Egg whites.
So then.
Anyways, it doesn't even matter at this point. No.
So then.
Does it?
And here's the thing: is
you're making me relive this fucking movie again.
Storytelling wise, this movie drops the ball because what the fuck happens? Why does Michael Gambon wind up lying in a bed like a fucking?
Did he get blown up?
Signed to his fate. He's gonna retire.
Why?
So because of all this, he has to spend the rest of his life in a bed beside his dad's fucking desiccated corpse.
He doesn't have to, but he'll.
It's like the end of Zardoz. Do you remember?
No, I want to do Zardoz. I haven't watched it in forever.
So whatever. So yeah, he doesn't look happy. He's just saluting these little toys.
Yeah, which are tasteful war toys.
Like he's had
whatever that means.
Soldiers that are.
He's had a fucking lobotomy. Well, it's like okay. So it's like it's like a conveyor belt. So they keep marching by and he keeps saluting them. So, what I want to know is like, well, what about everything that's just happened in the last 40 minutes? How has this affected anybody?
Well, he should have been.
There is no answer to this question.
He should have been tried for high treason, but still.
He should have been tried at the Toy Hague.
But didn't they actually murder a whole bunch of people at the UN or something like that, blowing up UN trucks? Did they actually do that?
That was a video game.
Was that a video game, or was they actually doing that in real life?
No, it was a video.
Well, they're doing it now, but
oh fuck! I be honest with this movie. It's like
okay. So here's the happy ending. Michael Gambon is lying in bed, and like a catatonic fucking zombie, like Misery, like the guy in Misery, and he's forced to salute these fucking.
At least he's got his feet.
Who even knows where he is? And then for some reason, I'm supposed to give a shit that Robin Williams and Joan Cusack and Robin Wright
And LL Cool J.
and LL Cool J, they go to
Grave.
their dad's hilarious grave.
Is it still laughing?
It is. Strong batteries.
There you go. I was going to say, how long the batteries last in that
And
thing?
then LL Cool J's like, well, I'm going to go back and rejoin the army now.
And he just runs away.
And I'm like, no. And I'm like, oh, so now you're going to go kill real people after this whole thing? The thing I learned is I forgot how much I love killing people.
I thought he wanted to date the
he'll be
robot.
a more ethical member of the
I
thought he wanted to have sex with the robot.
He's just going to bring... What's that?
I thought he wanted to have sex with the robot.
I don't remember them hooking up at all. Okay, so can you guys explain something? Now, at the very end of this movie, I was actually confused because LL Cool J is like, I'm going to go back and I'm going to fly off to Iraq and kill children.
Yes. With my toys.
And then they look over and they can't see him because he's
got that camouflage thing. Yeah.
And then for some reason they get all concerned, like they get all scared, and they're like, LL Cool J?
Making a joke.
LL Cool J? And he's like, I'm here. And they're like,
Right.
Whew. And then literally Robin Williams throws his hat in the air and there's a freeze frame and it says the end.
Right.
And that's how this movie ends. It was just a bad ending.
And then, well, actually, the ending which actually made me even more mad after that was the scene of the elephant flying around.
And then the elephant floats away, and they had actually played the horrible song
the closing of the year.
Yeah, horrible song. Horrible.
You like that? You actually like that song.
Yeah.
The thing is, we had just seen a montage.
CD single is my Christmas gift to you. You better act
surprised. Can't wait. Like, spoiler alert, dude.
There had just been a montage with the closing of the year, and then it turns out the gravestone is an elephant balloon, and it floats around, and then we have to hear the.
They have all these like probably expensive helicopter shots of it floating above the grass as the grass is.
And then it cuts to stock footage of cows.
Some cows.
It's just
elephants.
Out of the blue. There's like stock footage of cows.
Yeah. Well, we shot this. We might as well put it in the movie because it's not long enough.
And they even go like, like you hear the. I'm like. Okay, you know what? I actually gave Robin Williams the benefit of the doubt that he was off coke, but that single detail makes me think Barry Levinson and fucking Robin Williams and the whole bunch of them.
It was a cocaine-fueled nightmare is what we just watched.
Yeah, and then the movie mercifully fucking ends.
Oh. Would you guys recommend this movie?
No.
I would.
Actually, you know what? I would. Come to think of it, I'm with you, Alex.
Only the people you don't like.
No, it's not that. It's
if Donald Trump came into the store and was looking for a movie about toys, would you recommend this?
Well, who's going to start? Who's going to start?
You.
Alex, you start, because it was your pick.
Yes, there you go.
So you would recommend this movie to a customer?
Yeah, I'd recommend it.
On what grounds?
Well, it's a really weird, surreal movie. It has its flaws. It has a lot of infamy around it, but it's worth a watch nonetheless. It's got some really great ideas in there. I'm not going to deny it's too long. I'm not going to deny, there's a few cutting room floor moments left in, but still, I really like the film. Somewhat confusedly.
So you would send a customer away with this movie and not feel bad about it?
I would, but you know what? I would probably say as a second free one.
Oh, okay.
Like it would be one of the free. It's not so much like
I recommend this movie, but I'm not going to charge you for it.
Well, no. In a comedy, there's a lot of films that pick before it.
Yeah,
but
like maybe the other 16,000 we have in our store.
But no, it's not that bad.
Yeah. Darren, would you recommend this movie?
Let me think. No, I don't think I would. I would actually recommend going home and if it's possible to cut your own head off with some piano wire instead of watching this movie. So no, I would not recommend this movie. I fucking hated this movie. It is one of the worst movies I've ever seen, and I words don't express my displeasure of watching this. There has not been a machine invented yet that can measure my hatred for this movie. Wow. I'll leave it at that.
Okay. The critics rave. And I wouldn't go as far as to not recommend it.
What does that mean?
What I mean is, if somebody brought it up to the counter and asked me my opinion, I would be honest and say, well, I really didn't like that movie, but that's not to say that there aren't interesting elements. Like, okay, if you're gonna have a big drug party where everyone's really fucked up on
And
some,
naked
some
and
weird
yeah,
new pill,
yeah.
and you need something to put on a television with the volume turned down in the background, that's gonna make people scratch their heads, you could do worse than toys. So, it is Monday here at Black Dog Video, which, as we all know, is 2-for-1 Monday.
Mhm.
Alex, a customer, walks up to the counter with a copy of toys and is unaware that they get a free rental. What second rental would you recommend?
Well, I think this is going to be the free one. So
Yeah,
which one are
well,
they paying for?
but someone
So
still
toys will
might
be
walk
the-
up, though. Someone still might walk up.
So someone has walked up with some movie, and then you're going to recommend toys. What's
Actually,
the movie
Okay,
that-
here's what I'll tell you. If someone walked up with here's the situation I'd recommend toys. If someone walked up with any number of Robin Williams movies, a Barry Levinson movie, or a Tim Burton movie, I would say get toys as your second choice. And I would explain
Don't pay for this shit.
Doesn't really matter.
It's controversial. It was a dream
Is it?
project for
Is
those
it?
involved.
It's
Yeah,
not,
it was.
there's not a lot of controversy.
What's
That's not true.
What's
In
the controversy?
No, hold on. Well, do you remember the bad press it got?
No, not at all.
It did.
I don't remember
It
anything
was
about this
treated
movie.
like the Ishtar of its year.
It's worse than Ishtar.
No, but listen, all
Well,
I'm
for
saying
good
is,
reason.
the time it came out, it provoked a lot of controversy. It was on the heels of Rain Man. It was Robin Williams at the peak of his power, and the controversy being, a lot of it, the quality of the film itself.
So it's a bad movie.
No, let me finish. I'm not saying it's a bad movie. It had a lot of controversy at the time. It's like,
Well, what's
Heaven's Gate is worth a watch, and it was this despised flop too. Here's the circumstances I'd recommend toys. If someone came up with a Tim Burton film, but, I've seen all of Tim Burton's, or I've seen all of Barry Levinson's, or I've seen all Robin Williams, but they didn't know toys.
Nobody's ever come up and said, I've seen all of Barry Levinson's films.
Well,
what do you got for me?
I haven't seen all of
But
Barry Levinson's.
I would do it for a recommendation of those three categories: Burton, Williams, or Levinson.
You are Rain Man.
But if someone
Train beer
came
left.
up, another really flawed holiday film that doesn't quite get its ideas across is Scrooged.
It's true. No.
That is
Michael O'Donoghue disowned that film.
People
He
love
wrote it.
Scrooge.
Who's that?
So how is that your pairing?
But it wouldn't necessarily be.
I
that.
wonder-
I would mostly.
I'll give you another
recommend
bad
it.
movie to go with toys.
No, Scrooge is great.
Scrooge is not very good.
Oh, you're so wrong.
Seriously though,
So where are we then?
please.
So,
Okay, here's what I'm saying. I would seriously, if you had a Tim Burton movie, a Levinson or a Williams, I'd say get toys. But if you had just toys on your own, there's a number of mega flops.
Are you taking off your jacket,
Dad?
Dad?
he's,
Stuff like that.
he's showing his pipes. Like, it's getting serious.
It's
Throwing down. He's throwing down.
But Wizard of Oz is,
What? Okay,
What's
you
your
are
pick?
high.
What's your pick, dude?
I don't know. I guess
Pick a-
I don't really know. It's so on its own. It's so long, so I really wouldn't pair it up with anything.
So
No, not
what you're
necessarily.
saying?
It's a kind of,
It's
you know.
2-for-1 Monday, but you can't have a second film.
I would contextualize
'Cause this movie is so amazing.
No. I
You
would
don't need a second
probably say
film.
something like, I would probably recommend, honestly, another something in the category of like expensive flop by a revered director.
Sure.
So something like Heaven's Gate.
Sure.
Okay, Heaven's Gate is your pick.
Fair enough. But I wouldn't rule out Wizard of Oz just because you might need
Why?
a truly great
But
fantasy.
Wizard of Oz wasn't a flop or a
I
critical
know it
flop.
wasn't, but you might just need to cleanse your palate.
And it's just,
Or Popeye. That's not. That's a
oh,
kind of,
there you go.
Actually, that's probably a better pick.
that actually
Anyway.
makes
That's what-
Popeye's your pick.
But
That's Robert Altman, isn't
well, you don't.
And
just,
Robin Williams.
it? Does Robert Williams? What good movies did he actually make?
Oh, that's not true.
Oh.
He made some really.
No,
good
I said what good movies.
RV.
Fisher King is pretentious, but
I didn't like Fisher
I
King.
love the
It's
Fisher
got
King.
moments.
No, I don't like Fisher
I
King.
love Robin
I
Williams.
liked World According to Garp. I liked
Wonderful. That's
Yeah.
a brilliant.
The
film.
Adventures
Yeah.
of Baron Munchausen. Hello, fucking.
You know,
He's
I've
not
never
in that.
seen it.
Yeah, he
I've
is.
never
Is
seen
he?
it.
He's the
he
king
in
of
it?
the moon.
Oh.
Oh my god, he's so
Shit.
funny in that.
I
Oh,
also
dude.
really liked World's Greatest Dad.
World's Greatest Dad is terrific.
It's not bad. It's not bad.
Excellent,
No.
yeah.
It was going to be my pick for my.
The World According to Garp?
Yeah, for a good Robin Williams movie.
It is 2-for-1 Monday.
excited.
Wait for me to finish.
Please. No.
Somebody brings up a copy of Toys.
Well, the first.
What is your recommendation?
Well, my recommendation is don't rent toys. I would say I'm not going to recommend you watch this movie because it's terrible. But if you insist on it, I will rent this movie to you. But if you want to watch something that kind of reminded me of this movie, but it's a way better movie, is a movie that has a young Tom Hanks. It's called Big. I don't know if you ever heard of it.
Big?
Big.
Why? Because there's toys in it?
No, because it's sort of like a man-child trying to survive in this kind of world, but it's a way better film. It's what this movie should have been.
If the roles were reversed and somebody brought Big up to the counter, would you recommend toys?
Fuck no. I wouldn't recommend toys to my worst enemy, and I have a lot of worst enemies.
And actually,
no, I probably would because I hate my worst enemies, so I would totally recommend toys to my worst enemies.
Like the drunk driver who runs over your child, you wouldn't recommend toys to.
Oh, I totally would. So, Dylan, it's 2-for-1 Mondays, and some decrepit mental patient brings up toys because they love toys.
Yeah.
And asks you, and then what's your second pick?
I actually
Bacon?
Because this movie is utterly devoid of plot or purpose,
not true,
or point or story, or character development.
Not true.
At first, I was thinking the Monkeys movie Head, maybe.
Sure, why not?
But I don't want to drag the monkeys into this because I really like them.
This movie would have been way better if there's some monkeys in it.
Aesthetically, I'm going to go with a movie that it's much better. It's a much better movie.
Well, it could be anything.
And it looks a lot like this and has a similar kind of innocence. And it's David Byrne's only directorial film, True Stories, the Talking Heads movie.
True Stories is wonderful.
I've always avoided it like the plague.
Really, you should watch it. Well, the music is great.
The music is great. True Stories was a tremendously charming movie. True Stories takes place in Texas, and it's basically just David Byrne driving around.
Did this movie take place in Texas?
No. But like it was the wide open spaces.
Okay.
And the childlike innocence that Toys was going for, David Byrne actually captures brilliantly in True Stories.
Sure.
Well, Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry
Ho,
fucking
ho, ho.
Christmas.
We've got our eggnog and our...
I hope you're enjoying some toys this Christmas.
Our almond roca.
Our Al Roca.
We are located at 1470 Commercial Drive in Festive. East Bank. It might be in a month. It might be.
Yeah, let all the snow.
And
3451 Canby Street, flagship store.
Yeah,
there's
a website
store
and stuff. Just Google it.
Yeah, you're really easy to find us. Just Google Video Store Vancouver. It'll come up.
Google Store.
Google Store,
Van. Store, whatever.
Something.
Yeah, who knows? Hey, Merry Christmas, everybody. I mean,
at the closing of the year, we are happy workers.
The Black Dog After Dark podcast is recorded at Black Dog Video on Commercial Drive in Vancouver, Canada. It's presented by Alex Chisholm, Darren Gay, and Dylan Reimer. It is produced by Dylan Reimer and Darren Gay. Alex just kind of stands there and drinks beer. The intro and outro music was recorded by Tiger Burning Bright, composed by Jeff, who works at Jefferson's Barbershop, also on Commercial Drive. And he's a damn good hairstylist.
Happy